World Arts Academy provides professional development for emerging, practicing, and master dance artists, teachers, administrators, and scholars through advocacy and professional development opportunities that advance dance as a performing art in educational sectors and communities throughout the world. Our faculty teaches diverse dance genres in a variety of environments including, but not limited to, K through 12 schools, dance studios, colleges, and community centers. World Arts Academy envisions dance reimagined, reflective of our differences and supportive of all who dance and teach dance. A world where dance education is equitable, accessible, valued, and preserved. Please visit our website at worldartsacademy.com to see our impressive faculty, view our workshop calendar, enjoy distance learning, or help our mission by becoming a patron.
The Danceology podcast interviews the great masters of dance, the working professionals starring in today's most exciting shows, and the rising stars ready to amp up the craft. I'm your host, Edyta Sliwinska from Dancing with the Stars. Join me as I dive into the world of dance, uncovering unique stories and the fascinating personalities of industry professionals on Danceology. Welcome to the Danceology podcast. I'm your host, Edyta Sliwinska. With me in the studio is my producer, Todd. In this episode, I'm talking to Pasha Pashkov and Daniella Karagach. Most of you know them from Dancing with the Stars, but before they became the pros on the TV show, they had a very successful career in the competitive ballroom dancing. We take a trip down the memory lane to their early days and talk about how much their lives have changed ever since. I must tell you, they are the coolest and the cutest couple out there. I love the dynamic between them, and it's really fun to see how genuinely happy they are at the moment. I think one day they will look at this chapter of their lives as one of the most intense, busy, exciting, but also life-changing periods. Just a year ago, they welcomed their first baby, and only a few months later, they both made it to the finale of Dancing with the Stars. If that's not enough, right after the TV show, they went on Dancing with the Stars tour with the baby. They seem to live their life to the fullest and really enjoy the process. Let's welcome Pasha and Daniella. All right, you guys, welcome to the Danceology. I will start right off. You are an incredible couple, and most of our listeners know you from Dancing with the Stars. However, maybe some of them know, maybe not, that long before you were stars in your own right in competitive ballroom world. So tell me a little bit about your beginnings, how you got into dancing, and give me some highlights of your competitive career, just to ease you up to it.
Go for it.
You go for it. Well, we've been competing for pretty much our whole lives. I was born and raised in New York, and that's where I started my competitive career. And when we started dancing together, we had one goal, and it was to win Blackpool Dance Festival.
That was it, huh? The Holy Grail.
I feel like once you become a ballroom dancer, that's everyone's goal. I feel like that's the competition you want to win. And I feel like we've strived towards our goal our whole career together. And then when we finally did it, we turned pro and we won the Rising Star in Blackpool. It was just such a huge achievement for us. It's all we've ever wanted. So
you've done it, you did it. But tell me, why did little Daniella wanted to dance in the first place?
Well, I was actually diagnosed with ADHD as a kid, and I had a very hard time focusing in school and anything I did. And my mom is a guidance counselor in the school, but she has a double master's degree in psychology. So when she took me to the doctor who diagnosed me, they wanted to put me on medication. And my mom had just met a mother whose child was in her school. And she said that it helped her so much, enrolled her child in dance. And it helped her so much to focus in school and just in life in general. And my mom enrolled me. And I just fell in love, and it helped me with everything. I stayed focused. I was entertained. I had so much energy that I needed to put somewhere, and that was doing it for me, and I just fell in love with the sport.
Well, you know what? Did we just find the cure for HDAD?
I don't know if it's a cure, but definitely to me.
Okay, there should be a study when kids that are suffering from lack of focus and having troubling with focus should be enrolled in dance, and this should be taken seriously. I mean, look at you. You are a success story in that regard. What about you, Pasha? What got you to dance?
I was an active kid. I was doing everything. I did martial arts, tennis, swimming, you name it, right? And then one day I ended up in a dance class, and first I fell in love, not so much with the dancing itself, but I fell in love with the community. There were a lot of kids who I liked. The coaches were amazing. You know, they created this amazing atmosphere. And I fell in love with that at first. And then I guess they saw some potential in me. And I got some good results, you know, and I guess that, you know, gives you first of all, the community gives you a sense of belonging. And then when you have some good results, you start, you know, to build your confidence. You start to believe that you can be good at something. You know, strokes your ego a little bit, I guess. And I just pursued that, and I fell in love with it. But I fell in love, I would say, with the competitive part of it. So for me, if I have to be completely honest, I cannot say that I fell in love specifically with the art form itself originally. I first fell in love with the community and the friendship and everything, and then the competitive side of it. And my whole life, as a ballroom dancer, I enjoyed that part. I enjoyed competing. And not because I wanted to be first, but because I felt that was a challenge for me to get better. There was a fear of performing, the fear of the live performance of something not going well, or the results, the things that you cannot control. And that forced me to, you know, become mentally stronger. And I loved reading the books about mental focus, you know, all the books about, like, from the Western philosophy about meditation and focusing and learning how to stay present in the moment. I really enjoyed that part of competing. And for me, the competition was a perfect scenario to see how well I'm developing as a person in that regard. So for me, I really enjoyed that. And I enjoyed the strategies, you know, when you come onto the floor, you know, what kind of keywords are you going to use to stay present, or what kind of mind game you're going to play with yourself to feel relaxed and being able to deliver when it matters the most. So for me, I love that mostly. And then already later, I think once the skills got better, I started enjoying the artistic part of it, the musicality, choreographing, and all those things. I feel like they came in later in my career personally.
You know, this is so funny because in the first part, when you were talking about how your mind develops and that you like the environment and the competitiveness of it, you sounded like my husband. This is Alec. This is exactly Alec. He loved dancing, but he did like that part. That was his drive. So that's really funny. Well, listen, whatever got you into it, there you are now. Before we get into more of your career development and your successes, I have a question about your parents. Your parents now, and you mentioned before we started recording that your dad is watching your daughter, which is incredibly sweet. There couldn't be a better person to take care of her. Tell me, I know that your dad at a certain point in your career moved to New York to be with you while your mom was in a different city. That is an incredible sacrifice. Tell me, what have you learned from your parents? And what kind of parents do you want to be?
First of all, it's amazing that you remember the story. So I appreciate that already. For me, honestly, I'll start from the back end to answer the question, what kind of parents I would like to be, we would like to be. I think that we got very lucky with our parents. And if we can be even a portion as good as they were to us, to our daughter, I think that's already going to be a success, because our parents sacrificed a lot for us to live the life that we're living right now. And first of all, my parents took a huge risk in leaving the country that they used to live in, where everything was, comfortable and familiar, and they completely left that country thinking that America will have a better future for us. And that's a giant leap of faith, because you don't know what you're going into, and they came here without any money, dropped their careers back home, and started here from scratch, working every job that they can possibly get just to start a new life over here. And ballroom dancing is not a cheap hobby, it's a very serious
Tell me about it.
it's and they, whatever they could afford, they were putting into my lessons, not knowing if it's ever going to pay out, not knowing if it's ever going to pay back for me, for them, in any way, shape, or form at all. But yet they knew that I was completely obsessed with it. That was the only thing that I wanted to do, and they believed in it, and they supported. And yes, originally when we moved to America, I right away ended up living with my dance partner, with her family, because they lived in New York, and New York and California, LA are really like the centers, where there are a lot of good coaches, a lot of good competitions, the right atmosphere that will push you to be successful in dance. And when we moved to America, my parents were in Ohio, and we were like looking for the best place where I can be for dance. So I ended up living with my dance partner's family for some time, for about a year. And then after that, when I moved out to live separately, my dad, like you said, he moved in with me, so that, I was finishing high school, I was starting college. So I have help, support from him in a new country. And they sacrificed that as well, so he lived with me in New York before he moved back, until they felt that I'm solid over there.
So coming back to the question, what kind of parents do you guys want to be?
Same thing. As I said, if we can
supportive
be a
and
portion of what our parents are like, I think we'll be successful parents. Same thing. I want to give to my daughter and my future kids everything we can possibly give them.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, once Nikita gets into other activities, she will realize, as a parent, you obviously are your child's biggest cheerleader. And then you don't know if they will succeed in whatever they are doing, but just the fact that they are obsessed, like you guys were obsessed with dancing, that's just enough of a payoff already. So to a parent, it doesn't matter. As long as the kid loves it, this is it. You want them to be happy, you want them to be involved, you want them to be developed. And I think everything that you were doing was suggesting that, all those things were happening to you. So you guys are very talented. I mean, I've worked with you. I've seen you in action, straight, firsthand. You have this undeniable charisma, like you're like the force of nature. How important do you think talent is versus other factors in succeeding in dancing?
I think it's I want to say that talent is a big part of success, but at the same time, if you're not hardworking, that talent won't really take you anywhere. You know, if you're willing to put in the work and practice your craft, I feel like anyone can achieve a goal. There have been so many dancers who haven't been born and raised into the sport because maybe they were talented in something else, but because of their drive and their dedication to it and just their manifestations in it, I feel like they were able to conquer so many competitions and achieve their goals just because they were so hardworking. So talent is a major part of it, but again, if there's nothing to back up the talent, it's not really going to get you anywhere. You know, that greatness to drive is what you need to have.
Do you think there are any other factors except the hard work that contribute to success?
Consistency.
Yeah, consistency for sure.
I would say,
That's
yeah.
a good one.
Because hard work is hard work, but you need to be consistently hardworking. Things will work out, they will open up, but you need to be consistent with what you're doing. You know, you cannot be jumping around and spreading yourself thin. You need to be consistent, focused, you know, and put that hard work on a regular basis. I think that's the main thing.
I think you also need to be strong mentally, because whatever you do, you will have ups and downs, no matter what, no matter if you're talented or not. But if you're strong, you know that, okay, maybe one competition you're going to fail and you're going to do worse than the other one. But that's also a drive to go back into the practice room, to your studio, work even harder, and go and achieve your next goal, you know? So you have to be mentally strong for sure, and prepared to lose more than you win, probably.
Yeah, I think that's true for with anything in life, with anything, any discipline, any profession. And you guys, obviously, as we talked, you were incredibly successful in the ballroom world, and you achieved your goal. You won Blackpool. You had many other titles. You were US champions. You won UK Rising Stars. That's another big competition, if the listeners don't know. So why did you leave the ballroom world? Is it because you achieved what you wanted?
Well, you know what's funny is that both Pasha and I, we never saw ourselves retiring from the ballroom world. And every time we thought about it, it would break our hearts. So we never really pictured what our retirement would be, right? But we didn't plan to leave. That's the thing. We were doing our...
It just happened.
Yeah, it just happened. And when it happened, it wasn't such a clear line of, okay, we have to go and start a TV career now. It wasn't like that at all. And funny enough, when we first even started, it was kind of like a transition, because we were still competing. I remember getting ready for international. We were in the studio every day, teaching, training. But meanwhile, we were also getting ready, I was getting ready to go on tour with Derek and do all these other things, and we were filming videos, and I was flying back and forth from LA to New York, and then we were flying from LA to New York, and then it was just, we had so many projects. We filmed World of Dance while getting ready for major competitions. So it was kind of a transition where we're going back and forth, and then all of a sudden this major show, Dancing with the Stars, asked us to be a part of it, and we didn't have enough time to go back to competing. So it kind of just was a really smooth transition for us, but we never even thought about, okay, let's jump ship and go into something else and leave that behind, you know? So it was cool the way it worked out. But it was nice to know that we didn't have to leave the dance world. We still have our feet in it, for sure. We love it. It's what brought us to where we are today. We're so grateful for our teachers, and everything we've been through in our ballroom dance career, I feel like, is what shaped us to be who we are today. And we teach time to time. We go back to the studios where we were. We take lessons with our teachers, you know? So it's kind of we never left. We just kind of stopped competing.
So you are still connected to the ballroom world. And would you ever consider going back full on and maybe judging?
Never say never. At the moment, we have our our lives are pretty full of
the plate is full.
Yeah, the plate is really full right now. never say never. I mean, we did judge before. We, we had some gigs here and there. We loved it, but right now our hands are so full that it's crazy to even think of it.
I cannot say I love judging because when you watching, we actually, like Danielle said, we're still connected. Like we went to see a competition in LA last year, because when there's like big competitions over here, we love going back and watching everybody, compete. But when you're watching from the audience and you might be judging, you're like, oh, well, I love this. But when you're a judge, you have to give somebody a first place and somebody a last place. And I personally do not love doing that. When you have to make that
It's
decision.
tough. It's tough.
It's tough. And especially
it's subjective.
Yeah, in something as subjective as dancing, because you understand that it is a lot about your personal taste, right? Your take.
Absolutely.
And then on top of that, at a high level, everybody's so good and so close to each other.
That's what I was gonna say. Yes.
Splitting hairs, between like, well, they are both amazing, but why am I supposed to give somebody first and somebody second? You can't, on Dancing with the Stars, you can give 10 to more than one person, to more than one celebrity, but you cannot give first place to more than one couple at a dance competition, unfortunately.
Right. So you'll be fine judging Dancing with the Stars. Well, listen. So with your transition, people don't realize that. They think that you appeared on Dancing with the Stars out of nowhere. They don't know your history. It happens with actors too. People suddenly, someone becomes a star and people think they just came out of nowhere, not knowing that, they've been auditioning and doing small roles here and there, and just this is the role or this is the show, like in your case, that made you what you are, like a more of a household name. Now, so you guys transitioned. You did World of Dance. You said you did the tour with Derek. What was the first time you kind of stepped out of the ballroom world? I know you guys did some of the stage shows with Alec and I. Tell me, how did it all started and what kind of nudged you into that direction?
Well, we did do the show with you in Niagara Falls. That was we did the show.
Was that the first time you performed outside of the competitive ballroom world?
I think that was outside of competitive ballroom world. Yes, it was like a proper stage show with a very interesting concept. When the audience could vote, right there, right on the spot. So it was very interesting. So that was the first time we performed outside of the ballroom world. And then what happened is Lauren Adams, she's a contemporary dancer and choreographer. She was taking ballroom lessons in New York, and she was taking lessons with Shirley Ballas. And we had a lesson with her, and she saw us, and she saw how we were just practicing, in our regular practice clothes. Probably most likely it was all black, as we always practice in all black in ballroom world.
Just being fabulous in your all black.
And she just saw us, like sweaty and, not the ballroom world that you see on TV.
Glitz and glitter, yeah.
Yeah, but she saw like the backside of it. And as a contemporary,
it was very raw.
And as a contemporary choreographer, she found it very interesting to kind of get a glimpse into our world. And she said, I'm doing this little project, a little music video, and I would like, for you to dance literally in your practice wear to this new song by James Bay that's coming out. So we did that project with her first, and that video did really, really well on YouTube. Then she reached out to us the second time, and we did another video in LA with her in Playground Studio. And it was to Shape of You by Ed Sheeran. And that video, and there we danced in jeans, and I was in a
wife beater.
Yeah. And then after that video, that's when World of Dance producers reached out and asked us to be on World of Dance because they liked that side of ballroom that nobody sees. We were literally dancing in sneakers and jeans. So they're like, that's, what was it, like a pedestrian ballroom, what they call pedestrian ballroom. And that's how we ended up, it led, one thing led to another. And then when after World of Dance, Derek was a judge in World of Dance. And after this World of Dance season, he reached out to Daniella to be in his music video, Natural. So Daniella danced in the music video with him. And then after that, he asked her to be on his tour. And the ball just started rolling, So
Yeah,
it was,
and there was this history, right?
We were taking some risks. All of these things, none of them were paid gigs. It was just our passion, out of pocket.
And we were still competing too.
Yeah, we're still competing, and like, let's go and shoot this video. Let's fly to LA for 24 hours and record this video. Don't know where it's gonna go. So we're just taking chances, exploring things outside of competitive ballroom world. And as I said, the ball started rolling, snowball effect, and it led to it.
Well, I can tell you that the minute I saw you on our show and you were the audience favorite, as you mentioned, the show basically was you're performing your dance on the stage and then the audience was voting. I could tell that there's something about you, and not to diminish ballroom world, but I felt like the ballroom world is too constrictive, too small for you guys. You should be out there dancing and exploring, because as much as Dancing Pros, the shows that you guys were in, was still kind of a ballroom show. It was more of a fusion of different styles, and you guys were allowed more freedom with your choreography, with your creativeness, and I kind of felt that you should be going that direction. Now, with your adventure with the contemporary choreographer, that's so funny, because I always liked the raw form of dance, the ballroom dance, better than the slick back hair and the rhinestone shirts on the competitions. I like the sneakers, the jeans, the sweaty, the loose hair. I think that's more attractive than the actual formal, the look that we have on the competition. But let me move on to my next question. And Dancing with the Stars, that is a crazy adventure, I bet. How did it change your life?
Oh my God.
Well, first
Where
of all,
do I start?
we moved to a different coast.
It is one of the best things that ever happened to us, because.
So you moved to LA permanently. That's one.
The thing is, I've always wanted to live in LA, and Pasha is the brains, I would say, in our partnership, because he was the one who would think about everything 100 times and then be like, all right, this is why we shouldn't go, this is why we should go, and I would just be like, let's go, plane and living in LA. But it was never the right time, because all our students were in New York, our jobs were in New York, our house was in New York, everything was in New York, our families. And then when we got the call, I was like, oh my God, we finally can live in LA, because our jobs are going to be there and we're going to have to relocate.
No excuses now.
No excuses. And it's been the best thing ever.
It definitely changes your world, because you are just exposed to so many new things that you haven't been exposed to before. You work with so many different people, and you see, what happens behind the scenes. You understand how much goes into a production. So you watch how producers work, you watch how camera directors work, you watch how stage choreographers or TV choreographers work, right? Their eye is very different. They have to think of other things. They have to think of cameras, light, this, that, very different than how we used to think about how we look at a dance competition being judged. So you just start seeing things from a different perspective that opens your minds, that opens your eyes to new things, new ideas.
You're also being challenged, because you have no idea what celebrity you're going to get and how they move. One can move, one has never took a dance step in their lives. So it's really challenging to find ways to teach these people how to look good. And it's so much fun because a lot of them are so cool and you'd never meet them in a regular day, just chilling somewhere, and you get to have an opportunity to meet these cool people who tell you their backstories, and it's just like you become family. It's so cool.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna skip a couple of questions because I wanted to ask you about that actually. When you get your celebrity, what is your process, and is it more like a partnership? Is it more of a teacher-student relationship? And also, what do you do when you get someone like completely, with two left feet, and someone probably is not going to win the show? You can tell, right? You guys are competitive. You were competing your whole life. How do you deal with that?
Well, me personally, the way I see this is, hopefully we get picked up every year, right? That's hoping. But these guys have one shot to be on the show. So if we take it too seriously and they come into the studio and all it is negative energy and serious and you got to win this thing, it's not fun for them. They're humans and they want to just have a good time. And if they succeed while being on the show, that's a huge bonus, right? And for me personally, I want to make sure my celebrity is having the best time of their lives, and while learning how to dance, because for me, it's also a challenge to make sure that they are doing the technique while having a good time, while looking good, And obviously, if you have someone who has had dance experience, this was my first season having someone with dance, like not dance experience, but having like that musicality to move in a certain way. So was it easy? No. But was it easier having someone who can feel that beat and really move to the music? Yeah, it was so much fun. But then again, I had one who has never danced in his life, and he was also like really, really great. So it's such a cool experience. But I would say for me, it's more of a friendship. Like you're building a bond, you're building a friendship, you're making America fall in love with your couple, So, and if it's all serious and no fun and games, then it's kind of just like, it's kind of like sucks for them.
Yeah.
So one of the go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, one of the fan questions was, what is the biggest difference between the competitive world and Dancing with the Stars? Would you say that this connection, that friendship, and the relationships that you form, not only with the stars, but also with other pros, you guys are a group. You spend so much time together.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest difference, in your opinion?
Well, I think, the thing is, in the dance world, in the competitive dance world, we are the competitors, and we have choreographers and teachers who we take lessons with. In this case, first of all, because we're the ones performing ourselves as well, so we have to, we have different hats that we have to wear at different points during the week. So at some point, we're the teacher, and the choreographer. And then at another point, we're the same person who's then dancing this choreography with this person, and we're as a unit competing together against other couples. So you have to wear many different hats. So that's already a unique thing in comparison to the dance world. And another thing is that because it is a TV show, the rules are a little bit different, right? In ballroom dancing world, we have very specific set of dances that, we do every time. It goes cha-cha-cha, samba, rumba, paso, jive, right? Like, for example, every competition, same structure. Here, you can be drawn that you do a cha-cha the first week, but then you end up dancing a contemporary the second week. And then you have a freestyle at the end. So there are definitely many different rules. We, on top of that, we end up doing group dances and with other professionals. So except for the fact that we're competing with our celebrity, we end up all together, all the pros that are competing against each other end up dancing group dances together at the top of the show or for the finale of the show. So there are many, I would say it's completely different from many different perspectives. And it is challenging. And I would say the most challenging thing is that in the ballroom world, we have the same routine for a very, very long time, and we perfect it for like years,
Right.
years
Spend
at a time,
hours.
same thing. But here you have a new dance every week. So it's a very short period of time, and you have a partner who might be a non-dancer. So you have to teach somebody to
Right.
dance this routine in a short period of time. And yourself, then you have to come out and help your celebrity and yourself perform it live in front of millions of viewers watching it at home. And you've only had a few days to learn it, to put it together. So there are a lot of different things. They're challenging, but they're what makes it very interesting.
I know you gotta let go a little bit of that perfectionist in us as ballroom dancers, that's for sure. And you guys, I personally loved a lot of aspects of the show. My favorite was the show day, when all the work is done and you kind of just get to go through your routine a couple of times in front of camera, get to do the live show, always my favorite. And kind of your body gets a break too, because that's the only day when we actually get to rest. What is your favorite part about the show?
That's interesting. You're right. I never thought about it, but it is in comparison.
Show day is a break day, right? What is your, and I despised, actually, I did not like the behind the scenes interviews. I felt like maybe things have changed right now on Dancing with the Stars, but back then when we started, I felt like there were certain things that the producers wanted to get from us. And I felt like, oh gosh, this is so unnatural for me to say, but then I want to be cooperative. I don't want to be, I don't want to be this difficult person. I want to make a good show. And I just always thought, let me just focus on dancing. Can we just do our thing? Don't ask me every 5 minutes, how do I feel? How was it? What is it that you like most and that you like least about the show?
What I love most is watching people who've never known what ballroom dancing is or any type of dancing is, and turning them into a dancer. Because I've seen people literally come through the show not being able to take a step and then being confident in their dance, and it's just so beautiful to watch their journey. My least favorite thing is having to choreograph the night after the show, or like stressing if I don't like something in my choreography. If I've choreographed something and then I teach it to my celebrity and I'm like, this looks really bad, I have to re-choreograph the whole thing. That's like my least favorite thing, is just like stressing about my choreography.
It's the time constraint, right? It's very, very, people don't understand. You have only literally 6 days, because the show day is already done, to get sometimes 3 routines ready with someone who has never danced before. That's crazy.
It's hard.
Yeah. For
what
me,
about you?
For me, I would say I kind of feel both of you. I would say I agree with both of those. That for me, when we're being interviewed, for me, it's not so much about what they're asking, because I don't mind answering the questions, about like how the process is going, or what my celebrity is struggling with, or opposite, what they're being really good at this week. For me, it's mostly about the fact that once I'm in the process and it's going, I don't want to waste a single minute, because we don't have that much time, as you said, and then the interview can take half an hour. And I'm like, oh my God, we just lost half an hour of rehearsal time, that I could have been teaching my celebrity a couple more steps, or cleaning, a couple more moves. So for me, I would say that's why I don't like the interviews, only because they take away.
They take away.
We don't have to begin with. And the choreographing, absolutely. Sometimes you make the choreo and you think, all right, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. And then you teach it and you're like, okay, we need to redo the whole thing. Yeah. And then already at that time, you're like, now I have less days left.
Yeah.
So now basically have to reteach something new. Yeah, it's stressful.
Always in a crunch, but it feels like the show,
Well, what
the
I
show
like,
really like develops it.
I like, I like figuring out how to make the celebrity look good, how to take what like the advantages are, naturally, kind of finding those things that they're naturally good at, and try to hide the things that they might not be good at. So for me, that's again, it's that from the competitive world, that mental game, that challenge,
Strategy.
like figuring out how to do it in such a way that we can hide some things and expose the others.
I think that's the whole game in this show, is to really highlight the talents or the advantages that your celebrity has, and hide some others. And it can be done because it's camera. You're not even in a live space. When people watch you live, it's all camera angles, and you can do it, and it's been done. So you guys just came back from the tour, where you sometimes performed 2 shows a day, crazy schedule. Now even more crazy, you brought your baby with you. I want to know how it worked. I want to know who watched your baby when you danced, when you rehearsed, and kind of give me a day of your life on a tour. Like, you wake up in the morning, what do you do? I think the listeners would really want to know, what is it like to be on a tour bus, and travel with a baby?
You go for it.
So
Is this for you, Danielle?
very fortunate to have both Pasha's parents, his mom and his dad, who are retired, and we moved them to California because we knew we wanted to start a family, and they are like the best. So we had Pasha's mom come with us on tour, and she had her own bunk, and someone labeled it Babushka, and she had her own bunk, and it was great. And she is just such a good sport. And she was with Nikita the whole time. I mean, not the whole time, but when we couldn't be with Nikita, his mom was with Nikita. And basically, our day started with we were also lucky enough to have the back room. So we had the back room, and they built us a nice crib. And we would wake up in our back room, and Nikita's first thing is she would curl up to the window. She would stand, and she would look out the window for probably 10 minutes. And she would just like look at the birds, and she would just have the best time of her life. And then after that, I bought this like pot thing where I can make her like little cereals and oatmeal and stuff like that. And we just like made her breakfast. We would eat breakfast all together on the bus. Depending on which city we're in, we would go and grab coffee. Then we would do our meet and greets. And at meet and greet, we would give Nikita to his mom, and his mom would just give her naps and feed her and all that stuff. And then we would get ready for the show. And sometimes Nikita would come and watch backstage. In the beginning of tour, she was 6 months, so she was really great. She was watching. She fell asleep multiple times during the show. But then the older she started getting, she would start to recognize us. So she'd start like crying because she'd see us, and she'd be like, I want mom and dad, and we're dancing on stage.
Yeah.
So his mom would like put her to bed. But
she would do warm-ups with us.
Yeah, she would do warm-ups with us, exactly. And the cat was so good to her and to us, and they would play with her all the time, and they were all so involved. I'm like, Pasha, we have to invite the whole cast to her first birthday, because at this point they're family, and she only pretty much knows them because she's grown up for 3 months around them. So it's been really fun.
And depends on the city. Like some theaters, are the backstage rooms are big and clean and nice and light and everything. And some are very old theaters, and they're tiny, and they have a lot of staircases, and there's no space for the baby whatsoever. So in those cities, we would have to, get a hotel, so that, because in general, when we're on tour, right, we live on a bus. So we take, showers in the venues, unless it's a day off and we, have a day off somewhere in the hotel. But most of the time we're on a bus. But with a baby, like some cities would have to get extra hotel rooms so we can go, so the baby can have normal space, so she can bathe and everything.
We bought her a little like walker. She was running lobbies. She was just like running everywhere because she doesn't walk yet. So she was just like in her walker in the lobby of the hotel, in the hotel room, in the venues, like just running everywhere.
And we took a carrier where she would be sitting here in my chest, and every city where we could possibly go and explore, we would go and explore, different cities and try out their little local cuisines, coffee shops or something they're famous for. It was definitely a very, very good experience, very memorable, and it was a lot easier than what we prepared for, because we thought it was going to be really, really hard. But because, first of all, the production has done an amazing job helping us out with everything that we requested, everything that we could possibly think of. They helped us out. My mom being there helped a lot. Val and Jenna started the first 3 weeks of the tour with their baby. And because they started with their baby, they already figured some things out, with the crib and everything. So that was a lot of help to us.
They paved the way.
They did.
Yes. So we just got very, very lucky and fortunate that, it was that smooth, and it was so good that we would do it again. Yeah.
We would do it again.
That was another question. I mean, okay, you had the ultimate babysitter, you had an incredible environment, and you would do it again. Now, let me warn you. How old is Nikita right now?
She's 10 months.
10 months. She's about to start walking. So I took my son, Michael, on a tour when he just turned 1. And I remember he started walking at one of the rehearsals in Milwaukee, which I found really funny that he started walking in Milwaukee. He started walking, and and he was crawling before that. And to keep a baby that just started walking on a bus, to keep it safe and still was, let me just tell you, a challenge. But it sounds amazing. It's really surprising to hear that you guys would do it again. It means that definitely the crew has done an amazing job. Yeah. I can relate to so many situations. Like you were saying, the old theaters. Oh my goodness. There are some really bad ones. So.
But the thing is, the bad ones, like the old ones, right? That maybe they're small.
They're beautiful.
They're beautiful, and they're usually very, very warm. And the new ones that could be absolutely gorgeous backstage and big and light, sometimes because there's not enough history in them, they can feel a little cold, and a little too clean cut.
Right. Well, we can talk about the tours and our experiences forever. This is such a fun topic. But I wanted to ask you about being a parent. We started talking about it. How has having Nikita changed your life?
Well, the thing is, she just amplified it, because we had the most amazing life. I mean, we have the most amazing life together, and there's so much love and support and friendships and traveling that we love to have and do. And her being here with us just makes everything so much brighter and better. And it's like, you can think of, okay, we had such a great life together already. How could it get better? And this little tiny human being is just like the center of our life. Everything revolves around her now. It's like we live through her. If she sees a flower that we've seen for the past, 5 years of living in California, we're like, oh, bird of paradise, cute. And she sees it for the first time, and she's like, oh, like this flower. She loves flowers. We're living through her. We're like, oh my God, like we want to watch her.
Then you see it for the first time.
Yeah, exactly. And it's cool, because a lot of times when you hear, oh, don't have kids, or have kids later on in life when you've lived your life, because kids kind of ruin it and you can't travel anymore, and it's the end of the era for children. And we're like, okay, that sounds really sad. But we have this kid now, and we're actually traveling more. We're traveling more. We're doing things we've never done. We've we take more walks than we've ever had, and it's just like we've not stopped living. We actually started living even more, and I feel like we've been enjoying it more, and just, I don't know, I feel like it never stopped. It actually got much better, you know,
Are
with
you,
the
are you
child.
planning more kids?
Yeah,
course, yeah.
I'm not pregnant by any means, but and I need a second. But which is funny, because when we were planning to have a baby, I was like, I kind of want to just have 2 in a row and just like boom boom get them out.
Get over with it.
Yeah, but now I'm like, I can't even think about having a second one right now. I just want to enjoy her first, get her to a good age, and then maybe we'll have a second one, like, and then maybe a fourth, right?
Well, I always said I want at least 2 for
Yeah.
sure. Yes, and maybe we'll have
No,
more,
I
yeah.
want 3 for sure. We'll have 3, hopefully.
You see, this is what I was saying my whole life. I want 3, and then you have a second one, and
Yeah, maybe we have the second one first.
At least 2. I always wanted at least 2, and then if we can have more, that's great.
Yeah.
listen, I think that children are absolutely the most amazing thing in life. So I don't blame you. But I do think that level of difficulties increases exponentially with the second one. So you guys enjoy Nikita as much as possible, and give yourself time to do that before you decide for a second one. So going back to where you live right now and how your life is, you moved to Hollywood, and it's a very specific environment, particularly to raise family. Tell me, what do you like about life in Hollywood? And perhaps are there things that you don't like about living in Hollywood? And are you planning to raise your daughter where you are right now in Hollywood?
I'm going to specify, we love California climate. I love the coast. I love the ocean. I love the fact that we have mountains, that you can drive an hour and ski, and then you can hike, and you have good weather all year round. That's what I love. We are introverts. We need our personal space. We need to recharge. We need to, cuddle up in our, just the 3 of us and recharge. We're not, we're definitely introverts, so we like our own little bubble.
Wait, the introverts are performing in front of millions of people on TV.
Yes. Yeah, that's an alter ego over there. And, my primary one, I'm definitely an introvert, and I can be an extroverted, but I need to be fresh and recharged for that. And my battery dies quickly if I'm going out. I need to be isolated for some period of time to recharge. So that's why we definitely like a more suburban lifestyle. Yeah. And right now, even though we are currently right now in LA, but we are looking, right now to buy a house, and we're looking outside. It's going to be a bit of a drive, but we're looking somewhere a little bit more secluded, and
where we can have our privacy and wake up to birds chirping,
Yeah.
So
yeah, and a little bit more, like a little bit more space, so the kids can run, so Nikita can run, and be outside a little bit more. So yeah, we're looking outside of LA right now.
Got it. So you love the nature, you love the weather. You are introverts, and you don't want to be in the midst of it. Is that the idea, basically?
Yes.
It's nice to have LA as a workplace. I love the fact that we can go, we can do our thing, focus, spend all our energy here. And then I love the idea of leaving to go home to a quiet place where we can just kind of just breathe out and enjoy, a cup of coffee with birds chirping. That's all I want. I just want nature.
So tell me, what are your plans for the future, and where do you see your life in about 5 years, let's say?
Already definitely more kids. And honestly, are we great planners? No.
Don't plan?
I think we are.
We just go with the flow.
Yeah, we go with the flow. But the thing is this, we have we have all these dreams, that we and they're playing out one after another, like we have these goals, like when we're competing, and then getting on the show, we have the goals and dreams, and we're kind of going one at a time. And then naturally, I feel like life, forces you to go in some direction, and then you just flow with it. So I can say we have a very, very specific plan of where we want to be in 5 years.
I know we want more kids, so hopefully we'll have another baby by then. But I mean, the thing is, I love my job. Like, I love Dancing with the Stars. And if it's going to survive for another 5 years, which I really think it will, because it's just, I feel like it just had a rebirth, I would love to still be a part of it, and I love what I do. I love dancing. I love creating. But then again, we might create something else. You never know where life will take you in that sense too. So creativity-wise, I would love to still keep creating. And that's the best part about being married and working together, is that we can create together, like you and Alec did. So I feel like we can create something together as well, and do some fun stuff.
What advice would you guys give to upcoming dancers or dancers that are just starting, trying to make it in the industry?
I would say there are two ways of looking at it. We did strictly ballroom dancing, and the thing is that ballroom dancing in itself has so many different styles. Like samba and waltz and jive are all three different animals. So because of how versatile it is, we weren't really exposed. They didn't have time to be exposed to other styles of dance, like hip hop and jazz and but I would say nowadays it is important to be versatile,
well-rounded.
Yes, very well-rounded. But at the same time, I do believe that you need to have your main thing, that you commit to the most, because you need to do something really well. And then, everything else, at least that you're exposed to it. So I would say that. And then another thing is, like I said before, it is consistency. It is hard work and it is consistency. You have to be consistent, because I don't think there is another way. I don't think if you don't commit to it 100%, it's gonna pay out. I think it's you need to be very strong mentally. Be okay with hearing no, and still doing your thing because you love it.
Yeah, I think we're coming back to the strength, work ethic, and consistency. That's basically what it is. I have a couple of fan questions. A lot of them you guys answered as we talked, and then a tiny little game when I would like you to answer questions about each other. And we will see. You've known each other for such a long time. Daniela, I think you were 15 when you met Pasha. But first, is that right? 16, 15, 16. But first, couple of questions that you haven't answered yet. Growing up and dancing, who did you look up to? Who are your role models? Who were your role models?
For me, William Pino, Italian, William Pino and Alessandra Bucciarelli, married couple. I would say, for me, the most inspirational dancers, and I think it was because of their musicality. And I'm still, to this day, sometimes when I need some inspiration, I'm just gonna go back and watch all YouTube videos of them just to get inspired by how pure their art was.
Right, and they are not even Latin dancers, as you mentioned. They are ballroom dancers. So just for our viewers, they dance the waltz, foxtrot, tango. So it's not even what you specialize in. That's amazing. They are amazing artists. So I can see that. How about you, Daniela?
Ever since I was a kid, looked up to this dancer. Her name is Yulia Zagruchenko.
Oh, yeah. You're not the only one.
Yeah, and I looked up to her because I just remember the amount of work she put into her dancing, and she was always the top. Like there was no one like her, no one. And people tried, I tried, so many dancers tried to be like her. There's only one Yulia. And the reason for that is because she's so humble, and no matter how many championships she's won, you would always see her in a little corner of a dance studio practicing her craft and making herself better and watching her videos, and she's like not happy with her videos. And I just remember her being so hardworking, and even though she was talented, she never saw herself as like this queen of ballroom, right? Like she was just always very hard on herself and wanting to be better than her last practice. And that work ethic is what inspired me. And I just remember watching her videos, and every single muscle in her body was working. And she's just so humble and strong and just a beautiful dancer.
Yeah, she's incredible. I think she's the ultimate, the best of the best. How was it to compete against each other, you guys, on Dancing with the Stars? You used to, in competitive world, you're a team, and then suddenly you have to go head to head against each other. How do you maintain a healthy relationship in those circumstances?
Like you said, it's a team, right? Like in ballroom dancing, it's a team. But I feel like we have transferred and transitioned the team into the team of Dancing with the Stars. And I feel like no matter what, when we choreograph together. Everything we do is together. If we have a second to help our celebrities, he'll be helping mine, I'll be helping his. So I feel like we transitioned into the team of ballroom, and we are helping each other as a team in Dancing with the Stars. And we got this question so many times, like, how do you separate? We don't. We kind of just.
I know, this is I got this question a million times as well. That's why it's kind of funny, but I wanted to hear your opinion. So before we get into our last part, give me a minute. I have tiny technical difficulties. So just one second. In the meantime, basically the game is I'm asking questions. Pasha, I'm going to be asking you first. As quickly as you can, rapid questions. Answer. Daniela, you might want to confirm whether he's right or not. And there are no tricky questions. Some of these questions involve some of the stuff that the listeners wanted to know as well. So let me give you a little countdown.
Yeah. Now I'm also nervous, especially I'm not really quick with my answers in general.
Yeah.
I actually expect you to have them 100% right. All right, Pasha, we'll start with you.
Okay.
So the first one, Daniela, you don't have to approve. This is just for a warm-up. Pasha, what is your favorite thing about Daniela?
Oh, my favorite thing, when she laughs.
Really?
Yeah. Because she doesn't like her own laugh, but I think it's like, I love it.
That's really cute. What?
She always, when she hears herself laugh on the video, she's like, oh my God, what is that?
That's so cute. I didn't know that.
All right, so we found something new. You discovered something new about each other. All right, what is her favorite food?
Sorry, I don't know that.
Pasta. Pizza.
Daniela?
Pizza and pasta and donuts.
That's right.
Hey, that's so funny. I'm right with you on that one. Okay, her favorite dance.
Rumba.
Yep.
Daniela's favorite celebrity partner.
The one that she had, or someone she would love to have?
Well, actually, that is the last question. So how about one of the partners that she already have?
Well, I would say probably Iman, because that was the most unforgettable season. And then somebody she would love to have. I heard her say Zac Efron before.
Yeah.
And then you changed it recently to somebody else.
I did.
But I don't remember who.
I did.
Kane
Brown.
Oh, Kane Brown. Yeah.
So that's your dream celebrity partner.
I wouldn't say it's like my dream celebrity partner, but I feel like I would love to have someone like Kane Brown, because he's he's a music artist and he's very like swaggy.
He's a realistic celebrity partner that
Yeah,
actually could be on the show. Gotcha. All right. What is Daniella's dream vacation destination?
Saint Martin.
What's there? What's so special about it?
Nothing. That's why I love it.
Yeah, it's just our little spot we'll have to go to. It's just special for us.
Yeah, we love it there.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so the last question: if you could dance with anyone in the world, so that dream celebrity partner, Pasha, who would it be for Daniella? What do you think?
Or anybody.
Like anybody.
Anybody.
Like something comparable to her celebrity crush.
Uh-huh.
I don't really have a celebrity crush.
I would say somebody like, I don't know, Emma Stone or something.
Yes! Oh my God,
Yes?
I would love her.
You see?
I would love her.
That would be absolutely fantastic and epic. So last question, and this is a fan question. If you competed as celebrities on Dancing with the Stars, which pro would you like to dance with except with each other?
Mark Ballas.
Can it be a same-sex partnership?
Oh wait,
Because
was he supposed to say for me?
I would probably choose Mark as well.
All right, Mark Ballas, you're in high demand in Daniella and Karagach and Pashkov's family. That is funny. All right, Pasha, I think this is all for you. So Daniella, these are the questions for you. So I know that your I know that your dream place to live is California. So what would be Pasha's dream place to live anywhere in the world?
California.
Oh, it would. Well, how lucky you guys are. All right. Pasha's least favorite dance?
Least favorite dance?
To dance.
You know it.
Cha-cha.
Yes.
Oh gosh, Pasha, I love you. I hate it. Cha-cha too. It's like too fast, like cheeky and cheesy. I don't know.
It's a fast Roomba. Let me dance Roomba.
Totally. Pasha's number one thing on his bucket list.
Probably to meet Eminem.
Really?
Yeah, Eminem or
Messi.
Yeah.
Messi.
Oh, the messy one for sure. Why Eminem though? I want to know.
yeah, in different, I guess, industries and different fields, I have somebody who I think is like just so great, like out there, and I feel like Eminem is just
He is.
special in what he does, and Messi especially in what he does, you know. So I feel like they're
that
out
is
of this
true.
world.
That is true. His favorite dessert?
Oh, that's easy.
Ice cream.
Yeah.
All right. So who would be Pasha's dream celebrity partner on Dancing with the
Either
Stars?
Eminem or Messi.
Yeah.
And if we cannot get Messi, we'll get his wife because that's one step closer to Messi.
I would love the two of you dance with Messi and his wife in either combination. I don't care. I would love to see
His
that.
wife is awesome.
I agree. And the last question is the same question I asked Pasha. If you competed, we already know you will dance with Mark Ballas. So there you go, guys. The listeners really wanted to know. They really wanted to throw you other dancers under the bus and pick one that you would want to dance with.
No offense to anyone else. It just,
Right. Well, guys, thank you so much for your time. I had a fantastic job talking to you. I hope our listeners are incredibly inspired and they learned something. And if there is anything you guys would like to share about what you do, any projects, this is a great time. I'm not even going to ask you where we can find you on social media because I think everyone knows where. So tell me if you have anything coming up that you would like to promote.
Well, Daniela has her jewelry line.
Oh yeah, I started a jewelry business.
I did. I love that. I saw that.
Yeah, it's 1 year since we launched Dainty. Yeah, it's a dream of mine. I've had for a long time. I love designing and I love jewelry and I love dainty jewelry and I love affordable jewelry. So it's something that I wanted for a really long time and it's crazy that it materialized. So yeah.
Is this something maybe you will commit to when your dance career is slowly slowing down?
The thing is, I think I'm doing a really good job to like maintaining it. Right now I have the best team that I work with for it. So right now while I'm dancing, they are taking care of the company and I'm just creating the designs and all that, and they're pretty much doing all the heavy work.
Which is the ideal scenario. I mean, you're doing the fun part, right?
I really am doing the fun part, and they're really amazing at doing everything they're doing to keep the company running. So yeah, I'm expanding it. I'm making more collections. Actually, I'm having a collection drop very, very soon, so I'm very excited. But we also have a wedding dance business together. We've been doing wedding dances a lot of our career, and finally Pasha came up with this brand wedding dance, and we've done it online now since COVID started, right? So
yeah.
It's his baby.
Yeah, it's my baby. I had this vision for many, many years, and I wanted to also make it into reality. COVID was the perfect opportunity, perfect time to do it because we were stuck at home, and I finally had the time to launch it. So it's been 4.5 years since we launched, and it is going 3.5. It's gonna be 4 years this November since we launched, and
he does all the content himself and everything. He loves it.
Yeah, so
is it a tutorial for couples that are about to get married, or like live one-on-one classes?
It's tutorials. Yeah. So right now, there are 3 options on the site. So basically, we have a library right now of over 600 options. So it's already choreographed first dances to 600 popular wedding songs, broken down step by step. You get access to it and you can learn in front of your TV. And if your song is not part of our library, we have a DIY course where we teach you all the moves that you can dance to any song, really. Then if you really want a custom choreography, then we also have a VIP package, where we create a custom choreography to your song and create a online course for it. So
I think it's
the website is called weddingdance.net. So it's very easy and on the nose, easy to remember. We just crazy to think that we started 4 years ago with 10 options on our site, and now we have a library of 600 options. So it's it's like Danielle said, it is my baby. It's now that the baby is already a toddler.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think it's a fantastic idea. I think there are a lot of ladies that would love to have a wedding dance, and a lot of guys are very reluctant to go to a dance studio and actually take a lesson. So very, very last question. I know you guys are not big on planning, but in ideal world, what is it that you would like to do in your life once you retire from dancing? I know you don't necessarily have to retire completely ever, but we both know that unfortunately, any career, athletes, dancers, we have an expiration date, and at a certain point, we won't be able to perform in front of the audience. What is that thing that you would like to do?
I think I would love to have our own show, like produce a show of some sort. Be fun.
Create, choreograph, live stage, or TV show?
Either or. Both.
Yeah, I feel like it's as long as it's something that we keep creatively and artistically expressing ourselves through some, medium, I feel that's when it's going to be still satisfying. Because like right now we're using our bodies and, our mind equally, but like you're saying, the time passes on, and I don't know if we're going to be dancing until we're 100. But I think that the creativity that you can put without necessarily using your body, you can do it for as long as you want. So as long as there is this outlet to keep pushing the creativity out, I think we'll be happy and satisfied.
All right. I mean, Vegas, Pasha and Daniella, here they come. Get ready. A little residency in Vegas, maybe.
Maybe.
I think your fans would love to see that. Guys, thank you so much again. I wish you best luck in all your endeavors. I love watching your career and how it took off and how incredibly happy and successful you are. And I hope to talk to you soon at some other opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you for having
so
us.
Much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Danceology podcast. Please be sure to rate and review this episode. If you have questions or comments, you can email us at danceologypodcast@gmail.com. We are also on Instagram and Facebook at Danceology Podcast and available anywhere you listen to podcasts. Thanks for listening.
Metacortex Publishing hopes that you've enjoyed this presentation.
Please take a moment to listen to some other podcast offerings from Metacortex Publishing.
A quest is a search for something. And every week, the Quest podcast will show you how we know what we know through interviews with people that have incredible stories of dedication and perseverance. I'm your host, Todd Fisher. Join me in this thought-provoking and inspiring podcast of discovery. Find us anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Hi everybody, I'm Amber Rose, the religious hippie, and I host the podcast A Catholic's Perspective. Join me every 2 weeks as I release episodes targeted towards helping young Catholics navigate their ever-changing secular world while staying strong in their faith. Whether you are a Catholic or not, all are welcome here. So if this is something that interests you, feel free to tune in. You can find A Catholic's Perspective on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. I hope to see you there. Bye!
Hi, I'm Father Daniel Duplantis, a Catholic priest, martial artist, and host of the Karate Priest podcast. Have you ever wondered what the church teaches about different topics? Are you a martial arts enthusiast or just someone who wants to learn more about martial arts? I'd like to invite you to join me and many guests on my podcast as we cover topics of faith, everyday living, and martial arts on the Karate Priest podcast.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. Please be sure to rate and review this episode. This podcast is produced by Todd Fisher and Anthony Smith and is distributed by Metacortex Publishing. This podcast is copyright. Any previously trademarked or copyright content is used by permission. Information and opinions stated in this podcast should not be construed as medical advice. Please be sure to visit the official website for Metacortex Publishing at metacortexpublishing.com or find us on social media for other unique content.